What's up YouTube? Welcome to the channel. I'm Candace, the creator of Diamond Dance Art, and today we are back with our Some Enchanted Evenings canvas. And I'm just working my way through it. I'm in the sky right now. We're working on our H symbol. And I am right here in this area. Let's do a little zoom in. See how close we can get this. There we go. I don't have my light pad on. I'm going to see how well this goes without it because the lighting difference on camera, it shows up differently. I do like not having the light on sometimes. It does give my eyes a chance to relax. But anyway, what are we doing here today? This is just a quick WIP and Chat, you guys. I'm actually waiting for my teens to wake up so that we can get packed up and get ready to hit the road. But I'm not really in a rush. This is holiday, and I just really want to make this like an unstructured weekend. Give my children a break. We always are on the go. We got school, some after school activities. I work full time, and you know, our day to day is pretty cookie cutter. And so I'm really excited to break up the monotony and being able to take them away for holiday. The holiday for us is Memorial Day. It's on Monday. So thank you so much to all of our vets, people that served in our military, for dedicating your life to a bigger picture for a time period, or even if you're still active duty, thank you so much. My dad was in the military, so I definitely have a special spot for those who serve. It's a very unselfish thing, I think, because you're taken away from your family for a period, and sometimes some don't come back. So it's just a time to really sit back and actually appreciate the sacrifice that some people make that we don't even think about on a day-to-day basis. So there's that. I actually wrote down some talking points because I really like doing these WIP and Chats and talking with you guys, but I do squirrel off onto some really interesting topics. And I'm a very what do you call it, passionate deep thinker, I think. So this activity leaves me to do that. It leaves me to ponder quite a bit. And man, I can't tell you the type of stuff that goes through my head when I'm sitting here diamond painting. You would think it would stress me out, because it actually is. Once you get the hang of it, you really don't have to pay attention too much about what you're doing. Unless you're dealing with, you know, some light colors or like symbols. I know I've gotten confused a few times on some of these symbols and mixed up my colors, and yeah, that was because I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, yes, so while I'm diamond painting, I'll have a whole lot of thoughts, and I did a lot of this actually off camera. I noticed that there's a different feel to the diamond painting experience from when I'm filming and when I'm not. When I'm filming, I feel like I can't take many breaks. I get up and walk because I'm trying to get the footage without a lot of stopping in it. And I'm getting used to using my tools on my phone for filming, like pausing and things like that. And then I like to get like all of my shots in one go because it helps with my editing and not having to split and take out frames. And so I just try to make it easier for myself, but I opened up 16 sections for this last part, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a little overwhelming to me, because where I was thinking about when I was going to be done with the sections, according to how I've been working on this, I lost kind of like working row by row, and I just did like the entire block. So I did like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. I did probably like a 4 by 1 2 3. I did probably like a 4 by 4 piece of sections, 4 by 4. And yes, so I'm sticking just to one color. Right now I'm working on symbol H, and I am not going to put this color away until I finish all of my H's. So that's how I handled it. I'll give you a quick view here. So this is my sky. I got my moon just about done. All of these are H symbols, and why I chose that next, because I wanted to finish off my moon. But majority of the top of the sky is filled in. I have some of the rooftop filled in. This is the roof. And I'm zoomed in, that's why it looks like that. Let's zoom out here. There we go. So this is where I am. I'm filling in this middle section of the sky, and then down here in between the building and the trees, I have some sky left to do. So I am taking the approach of choosing my color and then working with that color until it's completely done. And then, so it does kind of seem like doing it that way is a little bit longer, but it could be the illusion that it's taking longer because I'm not switching my colors out as often. I'm not sure, but that's all the things that I think about, because I was trying to get a good estimation of my timeline and when I would be finished. I can estimate that this will be done before the start of June. I was actually expecting to be done this week before Memorial Day, but it's okay that I'm not. Like I said, this is the last bit of that needs to be done on this canvas, and then it's going to be done, and I don't have to I won't be spending time in my castle anymore. I'll be enjoying it on my wall. I still have to figure out how to frame it. I was considering the poster board framing. The steps, though, to secure it, I'm not gonna lie, kind of gives me pause, because it has to be glued to secure to the top and the bottom rack for it to hang. And I don't know about gluing the canvas. I can certainly keep the top margin for the gluing part and just cut off the sides, but I'll determine that a little later when I finish it. My other option outside of framing it is just to simply pin it to the wall. I don't know how I feel about that. I really like the frame. It just makes it cleaner, I think. And then all of my other diamond paintings are framed, so I don't want it to look odd that I have framed paintings and non-framed paintings. But I can tell you one thing, if it gets it on my wall sooner, I'm pretty flexible, I think, when it comes to that. Because I just want to display it and enjoy it. Let's break out my topics list Let's see what I had on my mind to talk about with you guys. Oh my gosh. Topic of self-control. Okay, let's get into that. Alright, you guys. The reason why I say that this project has helped me tremendously with self-control. One factor of self-control that I had to exercise with diamond painting is not creating a very large stash. I had to learn how long it takes me to do these projects. This is a large project. It's actually considered an experience level project, which I did not pay attention to when I purchased it. I was just looking for square drills to try, and I love the image so much, and I love that it was a castle. It was just very majestic, very fairy tale like, and that's kind of where I wanted to be for the next couple of months. And so I got it, and then I realized, with these square drills, because this is my first square, that they are a little smaller than the round drills, so more to place. And I would say, aside from the canvas just being a large canvas, there wasn't really much more that I needed to have been prepared for this, besides mentally, accepting that it's going to take, about 2 or 3 months to finish it. So during that time of me working on it, I had to make a couple of decisions, because I did create a little stash. This is, if I was to count my stash, along with this painting, I have 6 Diamond Art Club paintings. I have 1 that I'm working on, and then I have 5 in my reserve. Now, I do not want to go above 5. I got this technique from a YouTuber. Her name is Lisette. She's amazing, but she takes the method of not having but so many canvases in her stash, because she knows how fast she works on them and how quick she can turn them out. And when I got that information and I learned, just putting a max cap on your stash, I decided to apply that to myself. I did at first start off with buying canvases one at a time, but I realized that when I finished my canvas, I became extremely unsettled, because I didn't have anything to do with my spare time. And so when I would be waiting on the canvas, it would be very, very anxious filled days. So I made a decision then. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be waiting on a canvas when I finish a canvas, so I'm going to buy a couple more to choose from for when I do finish my kit. And I might take, like a break after this. I'm not sure how long of a break it's going to be, but I practicing self-control, I made sure that I didn't purchase any more Diamond Art Club paintings above 5, and then I'm going to just work on them, and as I see ones that I like, I have one that I'm able to purchase because I'm finishing this one. So that's how I'm going to do my rotation and how I plan to keep my stash under control. And I'm very proud of myself because number one, I'm working on a few things. Number one, I did allow myself to get the canvases that I did get. I have a hard time with purchases. I ponder them for quite a long time. And with Diamond Art Club, if you ponder a canvas too long, you might miss out on it. So I did see some over the beginning of May, and in April, the beginning of May, that I absolutely fell in love with and felt like I just had to have them on my wall, not just like in my stash, but I want to display them in my home. I went ahead and I purchased those. So I'm at my 5. I'm not going to be doing any more purchases. I also reduced how much I am on the Diamond Art Club website, because that there is another like trigger. If you're constantly on the site, you're going to see what they got and you're going to want to buy. So I reduced the amount of viewing that I have on the Diamond Art Club website, as well as other companies. I will tell you this though, the one dream design, they actually just had a new release yesterday, I think it was, and they had some canvases that I really liked on there. So I might revert to trying out a diamond design canvas next, since I have one that I can buy next month. So I don't know, we'll see. My dad is a lion fan. He likes lions, and I seen this beautiful lion that I thought about getting and completing for him. But you know, when you're doing things like that for other people, you kind of want to make sure it's going to fit their decor and that they're going to like it. So I'm going to go through and find it and then send it to him and see if he would like to have it. But you know, that's going to be one that's way down in my schedule to complete if I do purchase it. So I don't want to get it and then show it to him and then it ends up being like I'm not even going to work on it for, you know, until the end of the year. With the canvases that I have and how long it took me to do this one, I've been working on this for about 2 months. I started on the 6th of April, and so I know that with the other canvases that I have, I'm definitely not going to be getting to, you know, the lion anytime soon. So no point in buying it if I'm not able to work on it for him. But it is a thought that I have in my mind. So that's that. Another portion of me practicing self-control, you guys, is not starting another canvas while I'm working on a canvas. I said in my other videos that I do have a small working space, and although I could pack up this canvas and put it in its original box and bring out another one, I thought it was really important for me just to stick with my original plan of only working on one canvas at a time, even if I have some in a stash. So my one at a time approach was coming from, you know, not buying more than one canvas at a time. But then as I got my little stash here, I got so excited about the prospect of just touching other colors and just sorting it, kitting it up rather, and just having a different image. But I refrained, and I'm very proud of myself for it. I don't want to feel like that my attention is being split, and I want to give the full experience to the one painting. So I did really well with keeping from cracking open another canvas while I'm working on this one. And plus, the way that I think about it is, if I work on another project or another canvas, the time spent on that canvas could have been poured into this one, and I could have been done much faster. So with that logic, I just decided to stick with this canvas. I did do a video of how to diamond paint with a mini kit earlier this month. That was for instructional purposes, and you know, I'm still not finished that one project, and I'm gonna be finishing that once I get this one completed. But I had to wait on diamonds for that project because I ran out of the originally sent purple color that was used for the background of that sign. And the first time that they sent the colors out for me, the replacement diamonds, they sent me the wrong color. So I had to wait again for them to send it, which Diamond Art Club customer service is really awesome. I have no complaints. I was only a little concerned because my understanding was that when they sent out the first diamonds and I brought it to their attention, it was the wrong color. She was telling me that I didn't have any more claims after that claim, and for me to be very careful and make sure that I'm requesting what I need. So I did, I did mention that it was because it was the wrong color why I was requesting a second time. But I do realize that, I do realize what she was saying, like you can't have too many claims against one project, requesting them color by color. You just need to know like what you need and request it all in bulk, I guess. But they remedied it, so I'll be finishing that sign craft room up here after I finish this one. Am I on camera? I'm not even on camera, you guys. I do this all the time. Oh my goodness. I'm just dotting away. You can't even see me. But you get some good commentary there. So practicing self-control, that is definitely something that has been exercised throughout this process. And self-control is important. Having self-discipline is important. It helps you with navigating certain achievements in your life. So I'm not mad at the practice. And at least it's a low impact practice. All I have to do is not order something and not start something. I took a couple of different approaches with doing this canvas. I did try having out multiple trays when I was in my confetti areas. I think if I had more desk space, that would be fine. I didn't struggle with it or anything. I just felt like it was a little chaotic because my desk is small, and having all of the trays lined out, I was like concerned about making sure I didn't tip any over, made sure I kept them in the right row. Like I placed my jars in the order that I placed my trays so I can check back and make sure I'm putting the right symbols in the area they belong. But for the most part, my confetti is being done one tray at a time. But this is why I opened up such a large working area, because even though I'm doing confetti and that requires a lot of color switching, if I open up a larger surface area to work on, I'll have that color in my tray longer because I have more area to cover, if that makes sense. So that's something that I applied to doing to my confetti. I still am on the fence about confetti. I'm on the fence about blocking too. I've been doing this color blocking in the sky over the last few hours of working on this, and I kind of felt like a little bit, especially when I was up there at the top. My reach and my visual angle is a little distorted, so it wasn't really fun doing the color blocking up there. But that has more to do with like my positioning and my seating than it does the actual canvas, so no shade to the canvas. I'm not having a lot of trouble with working with my blues, so I'm happy about that. I'm just getting them placed and knocked out of the way. And I won't know until I go back to edit the video whether or not you can hear the music I have in the background, but I'm actually watching another YouTuber while she diamond paints. Well, I'm not watching, I'm listening to her music. She has some really nice classical strings on, very vibe centered, tranquil music while she diamond paints. And I just like the sounds, of the popping of the drills. I don't get that because I still use wax. I actually wanted to look into getting putty today. So you guys, if you have any suggestions about who to order putty from, can you put it inside of the comments so that I can check their shop out? I appreciate it. Thank you. And it looks like we're getting into the roof here. I'm gonna finish this last bit before we get into the roof. So I want to take a pause, you guys, and I want to ask you, how have things been going? If you're returning back, thanks for coming to see me. I appreciate your company. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for stopping by. This is a really chill channel. I am doing this with the purpose of basically just documenting my journey with diamond painting and finding like-minded people to enjoy the experience with. So if this is your type of vibe, I have done lapse videos. Today is a WIP and Chat. And I do have unboxings. My unboxings are not as frequent as some others may be, because I am working on my canvases as I unbox them. And I also do updates on my progress with the canvas that I'm working on. And because I only do one canvas at a time, yeah, you're probably gonna get, oversaturated with one piece. But check back periodically. It's your world. And eventually I'll start another canvas and then we'll have our eyes on a different image. I'm hoping my camera work gets a little bit better. I get to diamond painting and I have it zoomed in so you guys can see my drill field a little bit better, but then I forget that when I'm moving from section to section, the camera's zoomed in and it doesn't have a very wide view. And so I do a lot of it off camera. So I apologize for that, but charge it to the skill. I'm not a videographer. I'm an amateur, but I do suspect that my skills will get better over time. And that's what I look for, is small incremental improvements in whatever that I'm working on. All right, you're gonna go for a ride. Hold on. Oh, give myself a good stretch. I'm still trying to figure out what diamond painting I'm gonna do next. What I have beside me is Stargazer and Melancholia, but I also have Colors of the Bayou. Now I would choose to do Colors of the Bayou next because I absolutely fell in love with her, and I have a designated spot on my wall that I'm gonna put her when she's done, and I want to get that done before next year. So, but I do want to do a round drill. So unfortunately, because I want to do a round drill, Colors of the Bayou is going to be out of the running. That is what determined that I will not be doing that one next. It's because of the drill shape. I wanna shake it up and get away from drills for a little bit. Get away from squares a little bit and give myself a break. And then so that leaves me with Stargazer and Melancholia. I got some coffee that I'm working on. Let's fill up this. This is what I have left inside of my tray of H. So I'm about to put in, I have to look in my pile and see if I have any more H drills, because I feel like these are all gonna be used up. All right, you guys. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about with self-control. Let me look at my list and see what my other talking point is. All right, so discipline. I think self-control and discipline kind of go hand in hand, but I'll explain to you what I mean by I had discipline with this canvas. Sticking to just this canvas, I just said it, not opening up another diamond painting, not starting another. Now, I have not had the, what do you call it, the inspiration to crochet or anything, but I do scrapbook. I started scrapbooking. I haven't done much with my notebook because I've been dedicating my time to this painting. And so I haven't really talked to myself at all by saying like you can't work on any projects, but just the natural discipline that I have to put my focus and time into this piece so that it can be completed in a timely manner. I can be satisfied with the work that I put into it at the end of the day, and to know that it is going to be displayed soon. All of that I'm very proud of. I just stayed disciplined during this process. It tells me that I can handle this form of art. It tells me that I can handle this type of detail orientation, which is really important for me. I think with my work, keeping in practice, looking outside of the box, keeping in practice different ways of executing a process is important. And so I really do feel like this pastime is a full circle development tool, the way that I use it. I ponder quite a bit, you guys, and I have to have purpose for things that I do, or I'm not going to do it. If I feel like it's wasting my time, it's going to get ignored, it's going to get dropped, it's going to be the furthest thing from my mind. I love that about myself. This is something new, actually, that I've adopted during my healing process. Alright, might get a little personal, you guys, as I get into different things. But anyway, yeah, I'm very proud of myself with the discipline and just keeping my word to myself that I'm gonna do something, and I'm actually doing it. This is the second time that I shot this video. I hope I don't have to do any more retakes, but I will say that this piece is an expert piece because of the drill count and the size, and I wasn't aware of that when I first got it. So when I got the canvas into my Diamond Art Club app and I was logging it, that I received it and everything, and started working on it, man, that thing said that this was an experienced piece. Like, this isn't an advanced piece. And I feel like, had I known that there were different levels and knowing that I'm, more of a beginner, I probably would not have selected this piece. But I'm so glad I did, because it allowed me to challenge myself and not fit myself into a box of a lower level canvas. Now, I say that to circle around and say this. If you are a beginner, I'm not passing judgment that you're on a beginner canvas. This was something that just kind of developed on its own. And when I realized that there were levels, I just started out being at a higher level than I had pegged myself to be at. I considered myself to be a beginner. However, I obviously can handle something much bigger. I think it's important, though, for individuals to challenge themselves this way. I wouldn't say, full disclosure, don't go out and do something completely out of your skill range that could put you in danger. But I think it is important to challenge ourselves outside of our comfort zone and kind of test the waters and be okay with failing, so you know where you can pick up to start applying the practice. I have to say, failing forward is one of my biggest superpowers, you guys, because I don't have it all right. I don't have it all figured out, but I try. And I try with the expectation that eventually I will succeed. I don't even have the expectation that I'll succeed the first time that I try, the second or third time that I try. This is just a byproduct of trauma, acceptance of where I was, where I am, and where I'm going. But you know, I try to be positive, but not overly. I don't want to be like fairy tale, mystical, magical type of wishing and hoping for things that are just not logical. So I keep my head down, so to speak, and I'm just trying to describe how I'm, stick with me here. I don't set expectations, especially if it has to do with other people, but when I set my expectations, I only set expectations on things that I can control. There we go. That was a good way to say it. Yep, so that will leave out disappointment, that will leave out, feeling a certain way about anybody when dealing with other people, because the expectation for something to be done is not with others. I keep that with myself. And when it comes to others, I have no expectations. I do not expect a single person to do a single thing at any given moment. That is a safe place for me. It's also a very dangerous place to be, because when you have people in your life that care about you and actually are showing up for you, it can make them feel some kind of way, because, they're like, okay, I'm here for you to lean on. Why don't you lean on me? But, that's neither here nor there. That's the discipline aspect of this practice that I get from diamond painting, and by working on such a large canvas for my second Diamond Art Club project. This is one of the largest out of all of the ones that I've done so far, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud that I don't have to be told to get up and do this, that I just do this out of the sheer feeling and the want to do it. It's a desire that I have to do this. And I live in that space. I live in the space of doing things that I desire to do, that I have emotion to do. And this is how you don't get stuck, you guys. And I am just figuring this stuff out like this week. Okay? That I do not do things that I feel obligated, like I don't have a choice. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. So I try to play in my own lane as much as possible, and I try to have my relationships, reflect how I feel to people in my circle, my friends and my family. It was really important for me to just get them to understand my personality, to get them to understand that I'm very complicated, and I'm very emotional, and I'm very thoughtful, and I think about things differently than anybody else, and I probably put more emphasis on myself to just be just to be, you know, appropriate, I guess. You guys, I'm working this out, man. I'm serious. I have social anxiety. You would not think that I have social anxieties. The type of work that I do, I'm very involved, I'm very social, I'm very interactive, I'm very animated, and I absolutely love my job. There isn't a space that I operate in with my work that I'm faking it. And that's what I mean by doing something out of obligation. Like, I have been so blessed to find a career that tailors to my passion, and it's not even a specific industry that did it. It could have been any industry doing what I do, and I would have been happy. It could have been any industry. Interacting with people, making people feel good, giving people hope, showing another way of making a situation better, a passion of mine. I work with an underserved community, and the people are just life-changing. The experiences are life-changing, and it just puts, every day it just leaves me more and more grateful and more justified in the routes that I took with my life and the work that I do on a daily basis, that I feel fulfilled in a space that I always wanted to feel fulfillment while supporting my family. So diamond painting has definitely allowed a lot of time for pondering and thinking about these types of things so that I can properly communicate them to people, because, you know, me in a social setting under the umbrella of my work looks a lot different than me in a social setting in my personal time. When I'm at work, I have a goal, I have a job, I have a purpose, and it's to serve. In my personal time, it's just me and you and whomever, and what's the purpose? It's just to spend time, right? So I spent a couple of years actually being isolated. I took some time for myself to get some things sorted out, and when you get used to alone is safe. I'm just gonna leave that there for a second, you guys. When you get used to alone is safe. Life does not start getting complicated until you start incorporating others into your personal space. You have your work family, you can leave them every day, you know, come home. That's your work. And then there's a certain rapport you're supposed to have with work. So it's only, you know, so ratchet that work is going to get. But man, when you enter people into your personal life, after being alone and having alone type of peace, like, okay, you have alone, right? And then you have happy to be alone. And a lot of people say that they are happy to be alone. A lot of people say that they prefer to be alone, which I totally agree. I think if I had it my way, I wouldn't be social at all. That's the realization that I have about myself, and that I've, you know, come to understand in the last couple of years, is that when I'm being social and I'm inviting people into my personal life, it is such a huge thing that I only enjoy the interaction for that moment, and I have no expectation of having that interaction or enjoyment again. You guys, letting people into my personal space or into my personal life is very hard. I have abandonment issues. And how do you deal with the issue? You don't put yourself in the position. So you know that comes with a can of worms, doesn't it? Like, okay, don't put yourself in a position to be abandoned. Well, that means I have to isolate myself and can't, open myself up to new people because of a fear that I'm gonna do something that they don't like, and that's gonna just be the end of our friendship. Whoa. So I have the knowledge of this. I have the understanding of this about myself after taking time. And it's not something that I'm happy about. I don't like that I have this reaction and these tendencies. Trust issues because I meet, someone new, and I don't want to just automatically say you're untrustworthy. That's not fair to that person. And you guys, being a part of the diamond painting community is giving me that segue to be able to open up to other like-minded, common interest individuals in a safe space that I can interact and build relationships and not feel like and not feel so strained to perform a certain way. I think that's one of my problems, is that I have such anxieties about saying or doing the wrong thing to offend someone, and therefore I just don't have the interaction, or I don't make the post or the comment. So I'm doing a lot of exercises. I'm using my tools, like social media and things like that, just to reach out gradually to people. And if people are drawn to me, which I would much prefer, I interact with the YouTubers that I follow, and I, get enjoyment out of that. I honestly feel like that's good, reaching out and just getting to know someone else, and it's at a pace that I can tolerate. And I grew up with AOL lobby chats, and so I'm pretty accustomed to having like friendships over online. And I actually there's one friend that she just popped in my head, and I met her by joining the Team Beachbody workout program, and became really good friends with her. Just enjoyed, knowing about her family, her work, and things like that. And I lost connection with her. So actually, that's going to be one of the things that I do, is see if I can reconnect with that friend. But yeah, I got used to being alone. I got used to just having that safe space of, I'm not depending on anyone. I have no expectations. Therefore, I cannot be disappointed. It's a very safe space to be in. But I want to live life, and I don't want to do it being traumatized and fearful. And so in order to break through that, you just have to be a buffalo. You just have to be a buffalo, and you have to see the storm, and you just have to run straight through it. And so that's what I do. I have interactions. If I'm uncomfortable with the situation, I will think about it. I'll talk to the other person about it, and I just give myself space and grace just to be who I am. And a part of who I am is just being socially awkward, y'all. Like, I can't. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. And then if you don't like it, you always have the option just to, opt out. We're working right through it. Now I'm trying to determine what time I'm going to wake my children up because we are going on an adventure this holiday. And I'm just waiting for them. But low-key, I'm not going to bother them too early because I want to diamond paint. I hope that didn't get too deep for you guys. Drop me an emoji if you're still here. I'm not expecting to do too much editing. This is why I do so many takes too, because I don't want to sit and watch. Like, my video is long, it's already 50 minutes. I don't want to sit and have to edit all day, but I have to do it. I just don't want a lot to edit. So if I keep myself on track and talk about stuff that's not weird, like I have to, I'll get so far in the video and be like, and just start talking, and then I'll be like, oh my god, that's cringy. All right, let me look at my topics. I put forgiveness down. Oh my goodness. Okay. And the reason why I said I learned forgiveness during this process, it's nothing deep. Let's come out of the hole a little bit. When I started doing this, I was finishing a row a week, and that was about 7 blocks of the pre-perforated paper that covers the canvas. And I had an estimation date of May 11th, which was Mother's Day, to have finished this canvas, and I couldn't have been more wrong. So I kind of got a little upset with myself because the math that I did wasn't accurate, and I'm not really great at formulated math. That's what I'm going to call it, or advanced math. I have to diagram things out and visually get a visual of it before I can actually put numbers to it. If that makes sense, you know, give me a thumbs up in the comments, please. Because I did struggle in math, but in order to calculate productions, you kind of have to do math. So I go the long way around. I couldn't show you my work because the way that I understand it is just diagrams and actually drawing things out and then putting numbers to it. But I was not correct with this one. And I feel like I kind of knew where I went wrong, but I won't know. I'm still keeping track, but because I'm doing bigger sections, I put a start date on the section when I started, and then I would just put it end date. But I know average I was doing 1 row a week, and that's enough for me. Like, I don't have to. I started getting bored. I wanted to like bounce around my canvas and open up larger spaces, but then I felt restricted because I was trying to keep a measure of the row and the time it took me to complete it. So I really do forgive myself for, you know, getting that estimation wrong, and I'm not going to be so hung up on deadlines because I'm not doing this for anybody but for myself to display. So it's not like I have production to meet because someone is waiting on this as a purchase. So took some stress off of myself there. And there goes that H section. Am I done H? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. No, I'm not done H. I gotta go to my moon. Come on, we're going on a trip. All right, so let me back up. Okay, I think I hit all my H's. I just got to do the H inside the moon. My moon. My daughter is my moon and my son is my sun. So if you ever hear me say my moon or my sun, you know what I'm referring to. Now this section right here is a little, it's like further up, so I have to like lean in on the canvas. Now this canvas is folded, okay? This thing is massive, and I did not consider that when I got it, how I was going to work on it. I actually can't even remember how I was working on diamond paintings before I even got the desk, y'all. I don't remember if I was like on my bed, or I don't know where I was diamond painting, but I got 4 finished, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 finishes under my belt, and I don't even remember how I did it. I had to look back at my old video and see what my setup was. This is another reason why I'm filming, is because I would like to, you know, I like to keep track of my accomplishments and my projects. Oh, I remember what I was working on. I had like a lap table on a tote, and I sat on my bed. That's how I did it. So this canvas would have never fit on that little lap desk. But anyway, so I'm filling in my moon. Okay, so you guys, if you're still here, we're going on holiday and we're going to a theme park, and I love my children. I do not make promises to my children that I can't keep, or I don't make promises that I won't keep. So if I say it, I'm gonna do it. And I promised these kids that I would get on a roller coaster. You guys, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I've had a couple of emotional moments this week with the idea that I had to get on a roller coaster, and I did cry. I don't want to disappoint them, but I'm so scared. So I'm just gonna stay calm. I'm not, you know, and when I just want this to be a good experience for them, so I'm gonna really try to not to be so structured and so uptight. I'm just gonna let them loose and have fun. I wanna let loose and have fun. But God, I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. I've always been afraid of heights, but I used to get on roller coasters no problem. But I had this really bad experience. My ex had me inside of a Ferris wheel. I was so scared to be in this Ferris wheel, but I got up there with them, and there was a wasp up there, and like, my reaction when it comes to like wasps and bees or dogs or things like that is to stay completely still and calm, and eventually it'll just fly away, and it does. Like, that, all that flailing and all that shit is so unnecessary. Oh, excuse my language. It's so unnecessary. We're up inside of this Ferris wheel, y'all, and a wasp traveled up with us, and he starts swatting at the wasp. Now, I was like, don't swat at the wasp. You're shaking the cart. Don't swat at it. It might sting us. And he doesn't listen. And I start getting scared. And he stops swatting, but then he starts rocking the cart. What's funny to somebody might not be funny to somebody else. And I've always considered other people's feelings, because I know what that feels like. And I was traumatized. I got off that ride. My soul was shaking. My legs were shaking. I couldn't talk. I was crying. I felt like I was actually gonna die. My chest was tight. Like, the whole experience was just completely awful, and ever since then I never wanted to get on any rides. I had a harder time with heights, where I was having a hard time, like, just with doing regular stuff, like for example, if I come visit you, you live on the 3rd floor or the 2nd floor, like I was having dizzy spells and anxiety attacks just even being that high up. So it kind of ruined me a little bit. But I promised my kids that I will get on a ride, and so I am just going to do my absolute best to not disappoint them and just get on a ride with them. But that is definitely a thing that I'm going to be going through today. So I finished my H section. Look at my moon. My moon is all filled in and done. It's so pretty. And I've been filming for about an hour. And this is what it takes, you guys. Literally, it's a hurry up and do it slow type of vibe. But I love it. Thanks for joining me today, and wish me luck on our holiday. I hope to have some video and some pictures for you from our holiday. You guys take care.